We all have moments when anger will get the better of us. Even if we don't act on it, we are feeling it. It's a normal human emotion. But for many people, especially in the spiritual community, they try to suppress or deny it, or they feel as if they're failing on their spiritual path. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the role that the emotion of anger plays in your life and give you tips to help you work through it. Hello friends, I'm Wendy Rapp, spiritual life coach and intuitive reader. On this channel, I help you as a spiritually awakened person grow and evolve on your soul's journey. What is anger and why do we feel angry? Well, anger is a perceived threat or an injustice that is done to us. And there are two ways that anger can present itself in your life. And one is external. In other words, someone says something nasty to you or cuts you off in traffic or cuts in front of you at the grocery store. In moments like this, we may feel a flash of anger come up, but if we take a few deep breaths, it usually will pass. When we internalize anger or have internal anger, it's usually due to an old wound or an old hurt, something that was done to us a long time ago that we haven't dealt with, that has been festering within us. And when we internalize anger by obsessing over past hurts or injustices and then trying to suppress that anger, it can actually change your brain chemistry. Brain scan studies have shown that people who suppress anger actually produce more stress on their bodies than people who are going through a difficult life experience. And we all know that stress can make you sick or even kill. We need to learn to manage our anger and to work with it. Remember, the divine in their wisdom decided to give us the emotion of anger as a way of alerting us to the fact that there's inner work that needs to be done. We agreed to these lessons before we came here. We agreed to do the work. So see your anger as useful information. So here are a few tips to help you work through the emotion of anger. If the anger is caused by an incident that's not going to have a future impact on your life, in other words, somebody cutting you off in traffic or cutting you off at the supermarket online, the best thing to do is to take those deep breaths, cleansing breaths, release it, let it go. If you still feel a little frustrated from whatever the situation was, then go home, listen to music, dance like nobody's watching, get out and take a walk. Physical exercise is very good for helping to release pent-up frustration and anger. But what do you do if this anger and resentment is something you've been carrying around for years? Well, a lot of people, especially in the spiritual community, like to focus on forgiveness. Now, forgiveness has its place, but they will often gloss over the issues that they had with past family members or friends by focusing only on the forgiveness part of it. They won't get to the core reason for their anger. We have to remember we have these issues with our family members and friends and others in our life because we chose to have them before incarnating on this plane. We chose to have those issues so we could learn certain lessons in this life. So if we just gloss it all over with forgiveness, we're missing out on an opportunity for growth, for spiritual growth. So the first thing you need to do is to face these angers and resentments you're feeling and really look into them. Think of it this way. If you had a problem with mice in your house, the first way you're going to know that there's an issue isn't by seeing the actual mice, it's the telltale signs that they leave behind. And then if you want to get rid of the problem, you have to dig deep. You have to go through all the little dark places that they like to hide and root out the problem. It's the same thing with our angers and resentment. I understand revisiting past wounds can be very painful, but it's a lot like having an infected wound. If you just ignore it and cover it up and hope it goes away, it won't. It will fester. It will become worse for you. It's better that you take that bandage off and you clean it out and you treat it, and it's going to hurt when you do it. Yes, it will, but it will heal. It's the only way to get that wound to heal, and it's the same with the wounds that we have internally. And one of the best ways to do this is with a licensed therapist. A licensed therapist will provide you with a safe environment and the tools to help you work through the issues surrounding your anger. And remember, the person or persons who created the experiences that caused you anger or resentment were meant to be part of your path. Now, that doesn't make what they did to you okay. It's just understanding that this is something that we did and agree to so that we could learn will often help us to move through it more quickly. Also remember that the person who did the wounding is often a wounded person themselves. When you've worked through the issues that are creating the anger and resentment in your heart, you'll be able to release the pain and really send the people who created that issue for you true forgiveness. I hope those tips were helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I upload a new video every Sunday, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to follow me on social media, the links are below in the description box. And as always, remember, you are a spark of the divine. Share your light with the world. Blessings.